to the Dane and Joshua, episode 2, Super Sunday edition. I am beyond excited for today. Today's one of those ones that hits close to home. One of my heroes that people haven't listened to for a very long time. We're happy enough to track down a very important member of the band. Before I get into that, I'm going to give you guys some facts. And tonight, with us having drummer night, I'm actually going to give you some facts about drumming that maybe people didn't know. The first fact about drumming that maybe you did not know is that it's the oldest instrument in the world. Oldest instrument by far. It was the first instrument ever made, period. Secondly, there's an actual Guinness Book of World Records for this. The longest drumming session without a break, without a pause. I'm not sure how they did this, but it's in the Guinness Book of World Records, was a 122 and a half hour long session, several days. The final thing I thought was neat is a half hour of playing drums burns more calories than actually riding a bicycle. So that's why drummers are always so fit and cut and skinny, because playing drums, it's hard to not burn calories. It's also the instrument that one of my favorite people plays in the music industry, the legendary Cody Watkins. So I won't waste any time. I'm going to get right down to it and bring on my friend and mentor, Cody. Cody, how you doing tonight, my friend?
Good, brother. How you doing?
I'm awesome, man. I'm excited to have you. Glad we finally got the timing right and all that. So I'm gonna jump right into some questions, man. The show has wanted to pick your brain about. So obviously before in multi gigs, before saying Asonia, just being the icon of the industry that we know you are in rock. Take me back, man. When did you first start playing in life? How old were you? And when did you get the itch to play? You know?
Yeah, I started playing around 13 years old. I originally started with guitar, and then I switched to bass, and then it was actually my oldest brother. He played drums at the time when we were playing in a band, and he was sick of it, so he gave me the drumsticks and said, "Why don't you just learn how to play the drums?" So I did that, and I found it more comfortable being behind a wall of gear instead of being in the front of the stage. So I settled in there, and I've been playing ever since.
I love it, man. So I know 13, it seemed like that's about that coming of age, right? My dad got me my first guitar when I was 12. It was a Roadstar, that formative years, right? I'm curious, before the bands that we know you for, there had to be some hidden garage band or some gems. When did you like maybe come together with buddies and make your first song? How old were you when that happened, you know?
Yeah, like I said, like I jumped into a band right when I was 13, so it was kind of crazy. I learned could very quickly, and then just started playing gigs.
Okay.
I remember it was kind of wild. I'd walk into a bar. It's kind of a staple here where I'm from, just outside of Toronto. So I walked in at 13 years old holding a kick drum, and they all kind of ran over. And obviously, I was not near old enough to be in that establishment. So they gave me the double black axe on my hands, and I started right then. Through high school, playing with buddies, and we had a setup in our garage, and we kind of lived in the middle of nowhere, so we could play, all hours of the night, and we just jam. Whoever wanted to play, I just get
That's
together with them
awesome.
and go for it.
That's awesome, man. So many good memories, I'm sure, from back in the day. You kind of pulled a Lane Staley, basically, right? And played well before the legal age, I see. That's cool. So,
Yeah, yeah.
speaking of events, man, and gigs and some of those early years, I'm sure you probably are fond of, but you've done a lot of gigs and a lot of shows. I know there's probably hard to really narrow it down, but maybe a gig or two that's like, okay, this stands out in your mind of being one of your favorites so far. Is there a gig like that that stands out for you in your career?
Yeah, man. I think last year we did Incarceration with
Yeah.
yeah, just outside of Mansfield, or I think it's in Mansfield. Um, that was kind of a trip. Just that was probably by far the biggest show I've ever done, like 70 some thousand people. Just as far as you can see, there's just a sea of human beings. So it was kind of wild, like just trying to take it in and play the show. And it was, we drove in the night before and settled on the set list and just kind of went pedal to the metal for 35 minutes, and it was over before we knew it. But I tried to take all it in while it was happening, just because it
That's
was
awesome.
pretty astonishing.
It'd be hard to really be able to settle on the songs, I can imagine, man. Yeah, Incarceration's awesome. My buddy Marcos from POD just played, and it's a great venue, man. And the fans, like those are pure rock fans. So you're getting the best fans there as well, and it's just a heck of a show, man. So I
Oh
love
yeah, that
that.
was it was wild for sure. Yeah.
I love it, man. So I'm curious when you think about obviously, and if you don't, people that don't play drums don't, because I played also alongside a bass and guitar and all that. People don't understand it if you don't play, but there's so many different styles and techniques. You go from obviously Neil, Vinny Colaiuta, and you just go on and on with different styles, right? Is there been a artist or two that's been the biggest impact on you as a drummer? Would you say maybe stylistically in your career?
Yeah, that's tough, man. Like I would say Pearl Jam's probably at the top of my list. Just like you said, in my formative years, 13 to 17, up to now, even still, I listen to them. They kind of, when I was digging my heels, and they were the ones I would just listen to always and always and always. Yeah, Matt Cameron is a
Yeah,
very underrated drummer. As popular and as much credit as he gets, I still think he's underrated.
gotcha. Yeah,
He's so they would be probably at the top of my list, and then I think Ray Luzier from Korn would be
hmm
the top. It's about 17. Right before he joined Korn, there was a band he was in called Army of Anyone. I got into around like 17 years old, and that just blew me away, and that opened my eyes to him and what's possible behind a drum kit. You know what I mean? Completely different styles between him and Matt Cameron, but
yeah.
yeah, just seeing what's possible and opening kind of that side of the kit um, was pretty eye opening. So those two would probably be the first two that come to mind anyway.
I love that. I can get them. I get them both, man. I remember growing up because I started really. It's interesting. I came late to the Tool game. I was playing 10,000 Days as a teenager, and I remember playing it like crazy. And I would try to emulate Danny, right? So I'm like, there's those people that
Yeah,
you try to play, you try to be like them, and I can definitely see those two. Very different, very stylistically different, but very impactful. Playing clean, Ray plays very clean, but also can get down and tear it up and have a triple.
oh yeah,
I could geek out about that all day long, but I get you, man. So thinking
yeah.
about you just doing shows and writing and recording and multiple bands you work with. For you, what's next? The next 12 months for you looking like as an artist, gigs or shows or recording things like that.
Yeah, so we have a couple shows coming up with Stained. They're just fly-ins. Um, they just need some support on a couple, so we're going to go do that, which will be a lot of fun. And then we have from October into December, we have the second leg of the Rock Resurrection tour. That's with Theory of a Dead Man and Skillet. So
Yep.
we had just done that in the spring. It was a great run. Almost, I think every night was 95% sold out, and then a couple were oversold. So it went over really really well, and the bands got along, and I think it was just kind of perfect. It was funny. We talk every night about how great of a tour it was, and luckily enough, it's going back out. So that's a good 8 weeks coming up in the fall, and I was just talking to Adam the other day. He was talking to the agent, and they're booking into the early winter of next year, and then the festivals. They're trying to solidify all that
Busy.
stuff. So we're going to be busy on the road for the next calendar
Yeah,
year, I
I
hope.
can't wait, man, because we live in Kansas, and when you guys actually have a show in December, we're going to catch at the Heartman when you come through. So I can't wait to see you. And we'll definitely, Dane and I will both be there for that one.
Yeah, that's right.
We're buddies with Joey from Theory of a Dead Man. So just everybody's so cool. The tour, you couldn't ask for a better lineup. You three, Skillet's amazing. Seen them many times. You guys are top notch. And then what a show you guys are doing together. It's gonna be great, man. So I love it.
Yeah, it's a lot of
Um,
fun, man. Those guys are all great, so it'll be a lot of fun.
you take three great professional rock bands like you guys, what you do, and you bring people such great music, and it's inspiring. On top of that, I got to stop myself because I'll fanboy. There's a little segment that we do every time, man. I'm going to transition for a second. I'd almost want to bet money. And usually when Dane's here, he had to call an event, but we bet on these. And what this is, there's something that's called rapid fire. Our fans give us some awesome, really weird PG, but they're really weird questions, and you got to pick one. It's designed to pick a little bit at your personality. Okay, so you're gonna laugh at these, but I guarantee probably never had a question like this. Okay, so you ready? Okay, here we go. So first
Oh yeah,
question.
let's go.
So first question. Imagine that you're asked to fill in for the night, and you have to get away from the drum kit. You got to lead for one of these two bands for the night. You have to fill in and be the lead singer for a night from one of these two bands. You got to play their entire set. You have to do it. So you're in the starting song for both of these bands. You got to come out and just do it. Are you going to fill in for the night for Milli Vanilli and rock "Blame It on the Rain"? You got to sing that one. Or are we going to fill in for Wilson Phillips and rock hold on. Both great bands in their own right. Who are you going to fill in for the night?
Oh God, Milli Vanilli, just because they got a better name.
Let's go. Both I love them both, man. And again, I love them both. And who
Yeah,
knew that, all these years later we'd still be jamming to them. So next question, you're
yeah.
actually asked, you get to reverse that. So much love to your band and all the products you've worked with, but you're asked to fill in for the night. These are two iconic, legendary names in rock and roll. They need you to fill in as a drummer for a night. So are you going to fill in for the night for GNR? Of course, Guns N' Roses is great. Or are you going to fill in for the night for CCR? Guns N' Roses, CCR, who are you filling in for behind the drum kit?
I'd go with CCR probably.
I got you. I actually had that one. I really
Yeah,
did.
yeah.
I really did.
Fogarty's my guy, so
I got you.
I'm with that one.
I love it, man. So I'm 2 for 2 right now. I love it. Okay, so two more of these. So you're on tour. You guys are going back to the Incarceration Fest next year. You're going back, and you get a chance to just out of the blue, two iconic, amazing metal rockers come up to you and say, "Hey, I want to challenge you to a game of darts, and if you win, just whatever, they're going to give you a Lamborghini or something." So you walk up, and James Hetfield or Johnny Depp asks you to play a game of darts with them. If you beat him, you get a Lambo. James Hetfield, Johnny Depp. Which one are you going with?
Ooh, Johnny Depp.
I got you, man. So two more, and I'm almost done. So imagine
cool.
for a night you get to there's a movie coming out about being a drummer. Like we're gonna make a 2024 movie, and it's about one of these two iconic drummers, and you get to play them. So like you're the guy, you get to say that you're playing one of these two drummers. You can either be the lead star for a movie about Neil Peart, or the star in a movie about Danny Carey. Which one are you going to play for this biopic?
I'd go Neil Peart just because he's Canadian.
Let's go.
Canadians.
Okay, I got you, man. So I am killing it. So last one of rapid, then I'll transition to the final segment. So you're called up. Remember that anything's possible. You get to be, a lot of cartoons and different franchises have like bands going in the background of just episodes and all that. So you're called up and you get to be a part of you and Saint Asonia get to be transplanted into an episode playing one of your hits for either A, The Simpsons, or B, Futurama. You guys are just dropped in to like do a song in one of the episodes. Simpsons or Futurama? Which one are you going with?
Oh, The Simpsons all day, yeah.
I'm proud to say I got you, man. Let's go. All right. So if Dane was here, I would have beat him and he would owe me lunch. So thank you, man. I appreciate that. Hopefully in episodes or things you've done, I haven't had a segment quite like that. Okay. So last segment, man, is a transition.
That was cool, man.
Thank you, man. Last segment we do is something that's called open mic. And what this is designed to do, like I said, we got a lot of athletes, a lot of musicians that listen. And really what you've done is chased your dreams and done it very well. And a lot of people respect you. So if you were taking maybe a moment to preach to your beginning self or someone listening, kind of a mantra, what's a piece of advice you'd give to someone that wants to be you someday?
Yeah, man, I just think whatever it is that makes you get out of bed in the morning, just got to do it. You got to commit to it. Don't do it for, the money. Don't do it for the glamour or anything. If you love it, you'll find a way to make it work. And that's kind of what I've been able to do, this far in my career is just get up, do music, make it happen. Not everything, especially in the music industry, is going to be for the money and for the fame and the long rides and the long days of rehearsal and the days in the van packing the gear. It gets to be pretty gnarly at times, but you got to love what you do, and I would just say work until you find that, and then just commit 100%.
I love that, man. I think with our athletes, because we say a lot of that same dialogue with musicians and athletes, we see this where you're on stage for 35 minutes to maybe an hour if you're headlining, right, a night, and then hours of prep. Same as an athlete. You might pitch 30 pitches that night, but you spent 20 hours that week, in practice, right? So much more is done off the stage or off the field, if you will. So it's neat to see that whether it's a rock star like yourself or a footballer or a hockey player, most of what you have to do requires what you do out of the spotlight. So that's amazing to hear, man. I appreciate that. So
Yeah, of
Well,
course. Yeah, that's exactly right. Like you say, people don't show the practices, the rehearsals, the 7 hour drive to get to the gig, the day of, and then leaving right after, loading the gear and leaving to do another 9 hour drive or whatever. So I think that's the tough part. Like you say, you do a 35-40 minute set and everyone's happy and they get to go home and your day's almost just starting. You know what I mean? So it's nice when you can uh fall in love with the whole day, not just the stage show. It's the whole day that you kind of fall in love with.
the process, I always say rock stars, like, what you guys do is you almost have a 9 to 5 plus, and you have a 9 to 5 on top of the evening job, right? So you're kind of working a split shift really, because you have the day PR and practice and a lot of things you do with meet and greets and all of that, and then gear rehearsal, and then you come out and play. Rock stars actually work more hours than most 9 to 5ers if you really break down what you guys do, and it's intense, man. It really is. So, and then what you do is like these types of things that you do quite often to have a smile on your face and to get back to the crowd and press. You guys are always on, so you don't really get a day off. So I commend you for being able to stay an ambassador of the genre and being kind to people. That's not easy. So I commend you for what you do, man. It's impressive. So.
Thank you, man. I appreciate that. It's nice of you to say.
Yeah, man. So, like I said, I'll give you some time back in your day. We always call it an alum. Once you come on once, please feel free anytime. Maybe as things settle down, if you ever get off days again, maybe as new music comes out, you're welcome to come back and showcase that here. I can't wait to see you in December. We'll be there. I'll text you. Maybe we can grab a photo and, buy you a drink or something like that. It'd be cool. So, just know, Chad or Cody, that we'll be watching all along, man. We'll be there as soon as we can see you, and hope you get some rest. And we can't wait to catch up in the near future. Okay. So.
Thanks, man. Yeah, looking forward to it. We'll meet up in December there, and we'll catch up then. Thanks for having me, man. I appreciate it.
Of course, man. Take care, get some rest, and we'll be in touch real soon. Okay. Take care.
Cheers,
Thank you,
man.
man. Cheers. So, guys, that's Cody. I'm telling you, Cody's awesome, man. I appreciate you so much for sticking around for episode 2 tonight, guys, because Cody's one of the best. Knows knows the business side of rock, and knows how to actually entertain, and knows what it takes to get it done. So kind and gracious. When I first got the chance to meet him in the very beginning, I knew it was going to be a great episode. Dan really missed out on this one. Of course, he had to call a game, and that's part of the process of what happened. So, people like that, inspirational rockers that give you something to tangibly to hold on to, it just goes to the top of my list. So, thank you, Saint Asonia. Thank you, Cody. Well, thank you for stopping by. Thank you, all of you, for really being a part of the audience and helping us get this one out there. Did not disappoint. Of course, we've got a few more tonight. We've got coming up after Cody. We've got our buddy LVO stopping by from Doubtry, and then the nightcap, our final one, is we've got Zell stopping by from he's a producer, so we got plenty more content for you. 2 of 4 halfway there, so don't go anywhere. We'll be back with Dane as he'll be done with his game by then for LVO, and then we'll do the nightcap as Zell. So thank you again, Cody. Thank you, Santa Sonia. Thank you, all of you that listen on a regular basis. As always, don't forget that we love you, and as Dane would say, thank you for listening.